Alright. We are in. Just let me make sure that all the audio is working properly.
Dire team back. Radiant.
I had a hard drive die just 2 or 3 days ago, and it for whatever reason some of my settings must have been stored locally and some of them on the cloud. So I'm just gonna make sure that all of my settings are as they should be.
Reserve time.
Okay, so everything should be alright now. I'm just waiting on my co-caster to join our Discord channel.
And I am here.
Ah, okay, there we go. How's it going?
Pretty well, yeah. Happy to be here as always. Looks like this is going to be quite a good game. I think we've already seen TP to safety in one game so far. I haven't seen Birmingham so far yet, so this should be really interesting. Pretty strange first 2 bans coming out from them, so I'm sure they have a reason.
Yeah, Birmingham definitely have a reason for banning Viper against Nottingham, I'd say. I think it's Joff that plays, or is it? Let me think. Who's the player that I know on their team that's not here right now? You know what? I can't remember his name. Their mid player. I don't think it's any of these. Plays Viper all the time, but they may not realise that he's not here. The Nottingham team just before the Heritage one actually had a game versus you know, Vegetable Esports Gaming back when they were a thing.
Yeah, I know Veggies.
Yeah, so they had they ended up against them in team matchmaking and did pretty well with a Viper with a Blink Dagger. It was legit.
Wow. I mean, Viper Blink can be legit against certain lineups. Yeah, it's good anti-blink against anti-mage and Queen of Pain, for example. You can actually blink after them as they run away.
Mm. Sorry, I'm just making sure that all my audio is going through correctly. I don't know if you heard me say that my 3 terabyte hard drive died this week, and it took a lot of my settings with it.
Oh, jeez, that's bad luck.
Yeah, it was great.
But,
It was amazing. Okay. So
yeah, strange bans from Birmingham, but slightly more regular first 2 picks from both teams, really.
yeah, I suppose so. The Lone Druid, I guess we don't see too much of in this kind of mid-tier university competitive UK Dota.
Yeah, I mean, it really is sort of a specialist hero. Either you can play Lone Druid or you really, really can't. But if you do have a Lone Druid, it's always a useful string to have to your bow.
Absolutely, yeah. Being able to have a player that's comfortable on it. Probably. As well, Earth Spirit being another one where basically you're not going to pick that hero unless you've got somebody which is confident enough to say, yep, I'll play that, no problem, that's fine. And Conquer now, from Birmingham, after the...
Sing.
yeah, sing time. The last Heritage winners, Bath, I don't know if you saw any of their games.
Not yet.
So in the finals in January, the end of January I think it was, I think they played Conquer in 2 out of 3 of their games maybe.
Interesting. Do they play it as a core or a support?
They play it as core.
Right. Okay. As core Conquer is not something you tend to see at the very high level of coordinated team Dota, but you do occasionally see it as a support. I think EG and have been known to run it quite recently out of the top tier teams.
Did they do that at Shanghai? I didn't see any of that.
Possibly in one of the early rounds, but not in the later games.
Would that be with Fear playing Conquer, I guess?
Very possibly, I think. Yeah, I think the most famous support Conquer game, of course, is IG's famous 22-0 wipe of EG in the deciding game of ESL 1 Frankfurt 2014. Used that support Conquer to great effect with comboing with the Shadow Demon.
I do remember that game actually. That was an absolute smashing.
Yeah, and speaking of setups for the Torrent, Nottingham obviously wise to that and banning the Bane. Nightmare, very potent setup for that torrent.
Yep.
They just want to remove that instantly.
So the last Heritage game I cast, I think, was UCL versus Kings, maybe, or Queen Mary's. Actually, I think it was. And one of the guys in that team played Shadow Demon. I think 2 out of 3 of their games, which was super convincing. Obviously, he was just a sick Shadow Demon player, but that's another pretty good combo with the Kunkka that I guess Birmingham could go for if that's what they want to do. It's a nice little setup, obviously, for the stuns of Kunkka, and also allows the Druid to get in there and start pounding away.
Absolutely, and I think the only reason that Nottingham haven't banned it is they might be considering it as a counter to the Lone Druid. Obviously, if you purge the bear, it's much easier to kite. Shadow Demon is one of those heroes that I think is a bit underrated right now. It's very strong against Sven, obviously, who's quite popular right now. And the amp damage is good, and even the Shadow Poison, very useful for D-push. It's got a very long range, and if you let that stack up, it can do a lot of damage in its own right. Also really good for peeling creeps off tower.
Yeah. So Razor is there, we assume, the mid for Nottingham. What do you think of the Earth Spirit Venge? Do you think these are both going to be supports? What do you think of the roles of those two?
Well, with the Razor...
roles, you get it?
Hey. With the Razor third pickup, it's looking much more likely that that's going to be an Earth Spirit support, although of course it could be a safe lane Razor and a mid Earth Spirit, but I think that's unlikely. Could of course also be an off lane Earth Spirit. It's quite versatile first 3 picks really that Nottingham have made, and you know, if you can't get the Viper, you get the Razor. And Razor in his own right used to be an extremely strong counter to Lone Druid, because it's very difficult to stop your bear from being linked in the middle of a team fight, and that's a lot of damage that Razor can drain. But now with the Savage Roar, it's a bit easier to get Razor off your bear.
Yep, it's true. What do you think of the Razor Invoker matchups, like with the Invoker? In fact, I changed my question. What do you think of Invoker post Deafening Blast nerf? Do you think it's made any difference at all?
Well, the biggest change really is to the Yule Strike combo, which is now pretty much defunct against you know, a large amount of the hero pool that it was very effective against before. For example, against Blink heroes, whereas previously it was very strong, it's now very weak. Against Faceless Void, it's now pretty much useless. So it's pretty much removed Yule Strike from the game, except against heroes with absolutely 0 escapes and low base health pools. So I think what that change has done really is it's encouraged Quaswex Invoker to come back as a form.
So
and with the Zeus pick, it is actually probably going to be an Invoker versus Zeus mid, and Razor in this in a lane, probably an aggro tri lane.
Razor aggro tri lane. You think? I think they'll pick up. I think they'll pick up something else to go in as tri lane. I think that Razor will be left on his own, probably top, and then an aggressive try with the Avenge Earth Spirit. If they did that, what do you want to see? They need like a proper carry, right? They need a hard hitting carry that can go at least reasonably into the late game. Juggernaut would have been okay for them, but they ban it out.
What would I want to see against who? Sorry.
What would you want to see if there was an aggressive tri lane with Venge Earth Spirit +1?
+1. I mean, honestly, Razor is pretty good in an aggressive tri lane situation because of his static link, enabling him to basically make the matchup at 3v2 if it's a 3v3 situation, and massively amp his damage early on. You know, if you get the roll and the stun off, then you can pretty much guarantee a max duration link at level 1. So it's very potent early game fighting. So I think Razor does fine in aggro tri lane. Obviously he likes levels, but the static link is certainly good enough for him early on.
I'm just trying to think about what they might put up in their safe lane if they ran that aggressive tri lane with a Razor. What do you think would be good enough to get a lot out of that lane that's still left in the pool and works kind of properly with their lineup, because they are struggling when it gets past 30-something minutes, 35 minutes I'd say here.
Well, right now, what it looks like to me is that Nottingham are really lacking push. If they're going for this early game lineup, then they're really lacking heroes that actually have the ability to take towers. Obviously, Vengeful Spirit with her aura does a bit of work for that, and Razor if he gets an axe. But they're lacking a hero that can really sit in the front line and do some serious tower damage, like the Invoker can do with his Forged Spirits, or very obviously the Lone Druid can. So this is more of a team fight lineup that Nottingham have picked, and looks like Birmingham are going a bit more push oriented.
So what they've ended up doing is basically picking 3 heroes that can be largely left alone, and it looks like the Nottingham are just going to want to rotate the Venge and the Earth Spirit as much as possible and try and create some havoc in these early lanes. And yeah, oh indeed, the CK, I like it.
I like it too. I think Chaos Knight right now is a hero that's very underrated, especially with his the synergy between the Invoker's Forged Spirits, the Lone Druid Bear, and Chaos Knight's actually his Chaos Strike, which does minus armor on proc, which I don't think too many people actually realise. Even at level 1, it strips away 5 armor.
Yeah.
That part doesn't scale, so combined with the physical damage already coming out of Lone Druid, Invoker, and even Conquer with the Tidebringer, that can really do a lot of damage.
Okay, sorry, just reading through this stuff.
Of course, Chaos Knight, very strong against Zeus as well. If that Zeus is even slightly out of position, suddenly he's pulled into a rift. Chaos Knight's got his ultimate up, that's 2, 3, 4 angry horsemen beating down on him, and that Zeus won't be long for life.
Okay, so it looks like we are going to have a caster. Is it allowed? You're asking the wrong person. Asking wrong person. You need to talk to the admin. Check.
I mean, if you remember when you were casting our game in the first round, we were allowed 2 remakes in both Game 1 and Game 2. I blue screened during the draft.
This is a different thing now.
Okay.
Oh, Jamie's left. That's useful. I mean, they've all disconnected now, so we actually cannot play this game. So we're going to have to remake.
Well, that makes our decision a bit easier.
Yeah, we actually don't have the choice now.
I hope someone's written down these picks.
I'm pretty sure they'll just speed pick and take all the same things again. Okay, I'm just gonna...
Wait, hang on.
Sure
Are they actually remaking with the same players in the same draft, or is someone switching out?
Someone's switching.
Right, okay, in that case, yeah, we definitely do need to talk to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, let me cut us off for a second.
Okay.
JJ. Okay, we are getting back into all pick. Hopefully the game.
Brilliant. So everyone's good to go?
Looks like it, yeah.
Fantastic. Very interested to see how Nottingham lane this actually. I don't think Faceless Void is particularly good against such a stun heavy lineup as Chaos Knight, Lion and Conquer in that tri lane, and I don't think he's particularly good against Lone Druid in the 1v1 matchup either, so exactly sure what Nottingham are going to do with that last pick, Faceless Void, but be interesting to find out.
I think they probably will just put it in the off lane, and probably have both the supports roaming constantly, like just have 3 solo laners and mostly have roaming supports. That's what I imagine they're going to be doing. But we'll see. Okay, so let's go through the teams. Over on the Dire side, Nottingham have a disconnect. Fantastic. We have Joff playing the Zeus. We have Cook My Sock playing the Vengeful Spirit. Never Don't Give Up on the Earth Spirit. Never Don't Give Up usually plays mid, so I don't know if that means anything here. I don't know if this means a Zeus support or I don't know. I guess I am Spud, who must be their stand-in or their newest player. Maybe doesn't have the kind of, maybe just doesn't want to play Earth Spirit or can't play Earth Spirit, so he's shifted over to a core role. Anyway, Cook My Sock on the Vengeful Spirit. I am Spud on the Razor. Never Don't Give Up on the Earth Spirit, and LRM on the Faceless Void, if I haven't said that already.
No. And on the side of Birmingham we have Dian on the Lone Druid, number 5 on the Lion, Luke on the Invoker, SFXC on the Conquer, and
Roger.
I have no idea what that says, but it's some sort of Korean, so Roger.
Yeah,
Roger on the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, both teams all at the top lane for now. No one wants to be anywhere else. No one wants the bot rune. Top rune is where it's at. Lion, not afraid, sticks his head, stares down the Earth Spirit. Just looked at Earth Spirit's face properly for the first time, and it's really scary. Get away. So CK's picked up the Reality Rift first.
So Dire side have revealed all 5 of their heroes, but Conquer was just on the high ground. He will come down now, so both teams know it's a full 5v5 here.
Yeah, both teams seem to be happy to fight here, so Earth Spirit rolls towards the Invoker and gets a hit out onto him. Nobody really taking any damage here. It looks like there's just going to be a pretty easy disengage. The first rune went to the Faceless Void, and now Conquer and Void are chasing, racing down to the bottom one. Who's got the higher movement speed here? It looks like Conquer is slightly ahead. They've got the same movement speed, but Void doesn't want to go down and contest. We see straight away the Bear pulling through the top lane, pulling the creeps down the river towards his tower. So Druid gonna find some of those early levels which otherwise maybe he would have struggled with, and obviously gonna do some damage, do more damage to the Razor probably than he would be if he was trying to harass in lane in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic trick that lots of Lone Druid players do now in 6.86. Just use that bear, very high base HP, really at no risk of dying, even if 3 enemy heroes are beating up on it in that early game. So you can very easily pull the creep wave under your tower and get yourself a bit of early XP. And he's actually done very well here. He's tanked it up with the bear, actually got himself a nice creep line just under his own tower, and it's going to push back now, but that's a lot of free XP and gold for him.
Yep, mid lane. Earth Spirit is lingering around. I don't know if he wants to catch the courier. He's missed one journey of it already. But Conker's hanging around as well, so it's unlikely that either team will... Well, if the Earth Spirit does try to roll, and it's unlikely that it'll work out. Saying that, Gunker's walked away. Zeus is here, probably doesn't have enough damage, and now Earth Spirit just gets hit by the EMP. Gunker did throw out the defensive torrent in case they did decide to chase the Invoker there, but They don't. Bot lane didn't end up being a... I was thinking that maybe it'd be a support CK. I need to think about this. I don't know what's going on. What did I...
Well, it looks like a support line and a support Kunkka, core CK, mid Invoker and solo offlane Lone Druid is how Birmingham are playing this.
Okay. That's... I don't know why that confused me so much. That makes perfect sense, but I just didn't think that that's what was going on. My mind is completely blown. Anyway, bot lane, CK farming better than anyone. Somehow Void being pushed back all the way into his own tower, but he has already hit level 3 thanks to only really the Lion being there, who at this stage can't really do very much to the Void, who can time walk straight out of the suction, and doesn't really care about the level 1 impale.
Yeah, I'm surprised Void has actually got this much, to be honest. With the aggressive power of the Kunkka, Lion, and the Chaos Knight all together, I think Kunkka is actually perhaps wasting a bit of time here on mid. I can't really foresee him getting a kill on this Zeus unless Joff makes a huge error with his positioning. I think even here he will just walk away.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be enough to kill him. Even with the cold snap there, it's not going to do anywhere near enough. And now Earth Spirit's showing up. The X isn't going to do anything at all. It's not even mana for another torrent yet. So
I think this is just a bit of a misread here from Birmingham. They're completely overestimating the amount of damage they have between the Kunkka and the Invoker.
Yeah.
With those early levels in EMP, it only burns 175 mana.
Potentially the same for both sides, with obviously Nottingham trying to initiate at once as well. Okay, so they will get a nice D ward there. The Sentry was already down from the Birmingham side, so Observer ward wasted for Nottingham. Birmingham should be reasonably happy with that little bit of a turnout, but like you said, they did commit a lot more to the mid lane than Nottingham did initially, with Kunkka staying around for a lot longer.
Yeah, and I do think the biggest winner here definitely is Nottingham, because of the difference in, or rather the similarity in farm between LRM on the Faceless Void and Dian on the Lone Druid.
Yeah.
The difference is, of course, you'd expect Lone Druid to get that those early levels and that farm, but Faceless Void I think could have been very easily zoned here, and he's actually got a lot more than he has the right to expect.
Yeah, and despite all these pulls, Void 2 levels or a level and a half ahead of the Lone Druid right now. I don't know, even with Lone Druid seemingly pulling through every single creep wave, LRM with all this CS and space he's found solo XP is racing ahead so far.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword when you pull the wave like that. I mean, as we saw when we looked top, he got the first wave very nicely aligned under his tower, but the second wave pushed too far under his own tower, and that caused it to push back quite severely. So I think he must have been a bit quite a bit cautious about venturing too far out and perhaps getting caught for first blood.
Kunkka's still lingering around mid lane. He's managed to find 3 levels somehow. I don't know if he's just leached this from the Invoker or whether he's found any of this somewhere else. It doesn't like he's stacked any camps for anyone to farm, so potentially a little bit of a setback on the Invoker, but he's about to hit level 6, so he's not doing so bad. Doing as well.
I mean, there's really actually not that much of an XP difference between the Invoker and the Zeus. In fact, Invoker's slightly ahead of the Zeus, which is interesting because Earth Spirit's behind the Invoker. Behind the Kunkka, I mean.
Bench just got, mid lane, a lot of damage going out into Zeus, and he will definitely die.
Yeah, he's definitely dead.
From the Kunkka there. Level 2 X marks the spot. I think Zeus maybe not expecting the higher range on that, does end up going down. And finally it pays off. It's almost 6 minutes in, but first blood goes the way of the Kunkka.
No, I mean, it definitely does work once you have the levels on the Invoker, the level 3 EMP and the level 3 Quaz, allowing for more damage on the Tornado, more control on the Cold Snap, and more damage on the EMP. It's a huge difference to having level 2 Quaz and Wex, and obviously the extra level in Torrent on the Kunkka as well. But I don't know why he was hanging around before.
The max damage. Oh, Void. Okay, so he's only got the level 1 time walk. The max damage CK somewhere now, so even then, and now the Zeusel does clean up the CK kill. X marks the spot. They're trying to find the Earth Spirit here. He does have a rolling boulder, which he's going to use to go to the south, but now he doesn't have mana to TP away. But is he actually... Okay, so he rolled over the cliff somehow, and Kunkka just has the 1 tango to try and eat through. Will he try it? Now the TP does come out from Earth Spirit. There's no attempt to stop it, so that was a nice.
That's very
nice
unlucky,
roll.
actually. He breaks most of the trees with the roll, but actually goes over the cliff with the very last bit, allowing him to TP away undetected. Number 5 could have perhaps gone for a blind impale, but if he had managed that, that would have just been the most ridiculous play.
That would have been good, yeah. Now Kunkka down bot lane, stealing the CK's farm. It's fine, buddy. You take this. I guess he wants to get the arcane boots so he can get the mana. Meanwhile, top Lone Druid's still a little bit behind where you'd expect, but overall doing fine. He's got the level 6 up, so he's got root available. He's got his ultimate.
Vengeful Spirit and Earth Spirit smoked up.
Yep, Venge, who has mostly been trying to pull top. Level 3 and level 2, the support's not doing so well on the side of Nottingham in terms of XP, but we want to try and take down the Invoker, who is level 7, and this would be a really good kill. Zeus kind
There's a Sentry Ward on the Vengeful Spirit, but Invoker has Invoke ready.
Yep, the Tornado just completely forces the Venge away. The Q misses from the Earth Spirit. Are they going to try for a Tidebringer or something else here? And Impale does go out. Kunkka doesn't really take enough damage at all, and now the Earth Spirit's going to be going down as well. Look at how much damage the Invoker's doing at the moment. My lord.
That's a complete disaster for Birmingham. They
Or Nottingham.
Nottingham. Apologies, Nottingham. But they really suckered themselves in there with the gank. I think they chased it a little too hard. Once Invoker lands that initial tornado and the stun from Vengeful Spirit is not happening, I think you've just got to cut your losses and get out there. But they chase it up and get very badly burnt by the Lion rotating in.
Yep, that
and he did have quite a number of stacks on his wand as well, because that was a large heal that he got as he ran up the hill, and I think might have baited Nottingham in a little bit.
Yeah, just the Venge not being able to get in range for that stun. I don't know if the Venge did have boots during that, but Invoker with the phase boots able to sidestep really fast. And that tornado was nice instant reaction. It seems like Invoker was ready to react. Zeus not quite going to be caught by the MP, but still takes a lot of damage from the Cold Snap. He's going to try and return some of it. Meanwhile, bot lane, Reality Rift onto the Earth Spirit. He's not being hit by anything else just yet. Somehow that torrent doesn't hit the Earth Spirit, but he gets impaled afterwards anyway. So down he goes. An ult from Zeus doesn't kill anyone. I think he was trying to get the Invoker, but wasted ult from the Zeus there.
Invoker has 4 points in the Quas, and you really can't underestimate that regen. It's very powerful.
It's very, very high. 12 per second, I guess. Yeah, because you get the HP regen per instance, which is orbed, right? So
yeah,
nice.
So yeah, I think Joff just slightly overestimated his own damage there, and so now he is without the ultimate.
Yeah, the Invoker now with an urn as well. This is an interesting Invoker build, not what we usually see at all. He's gone full Cross Wex, not a single point into Exort, and he has built phase urn. This is old school cool from the Birmingham Invoker player Luke right now.
I mean, with the change to the intervals on Cold Snap and the amount of damage it does.
Wraparound from Lion will ensure the kill onto the Zeus. Have they got a bash here? Oh, the Venge stun is there just in time, so they should be able to take out the Lion. It's taken a long time to take him down, but eventually I'm sure.
He's got Impale on 2 seconds. Oh, the bash.
Oh, the bash was nice.
Has to spend the Hex.
Yeah. So do get a return kill, but nice rotation from the Lion. Wrap around the back. The X and Torrent combo executed nicely from Kunkka, followed up with a finger, and that's that.
Interesting, actually. If you look at the gold change for both teams, Nottingham do actually come out in favour.
Again, the Cold Snap, the X. Venge isn't going to be getting away from this one, and even the boat committer for that. You ain't getting away, buddy. Now it's a killing spree, and now Zeus has possibly just TP'd into his doom once more. He's got the negative urn charge. The torrent is coming out. Zeus wants to find a kill, but he's just going to go down again. Now dominating for Invoker. Killing spree for Kunkka. 3-0-4 and 4-0-2. Boy, oh boy, this is not Nottingham's game right now.
Yeah, I questioned the Kunkka hanging around mid so much earlier on, but it's really paying dividends now.
Sure. And that is just an Oblivion staff straight up for the Invoker, so he's going to have an Orchid in not very much time at all. And then it's level 3 Earth Spirit, he's going to die anyway. I don't think he's going to be able to roll away from this. And look at that mega kill streak, he dies so fast. And I think the problem with this game is, I mean, you said that you had some doubts about the laning here, and I thought that my assumption was based on the roaming that from the Venge and the Earth Spirit would work out a lot better than it actually did, and obviously it hasn't worked out for him at all, and now they're just so far behind in levels. Earth Spirit, level 3, 600 health, super squishy, just got torn apart by the Invoker that is now level 10. Level 10 and 12.
Yeah, I mean, this may have been the reason behind Conquer staying mid for so long. They might have recognised that Nottingham's early game really did depend a lot on those rotations from the Earth Spirit and the Vengeful Spirit, so it was more insurance than actually trying to make anything happen.
So Lion wrapping around top lane, the Razor is going to get hit by everything, and Lion does turn up at the end. Now the Chrono, but Faceless Void locked down for the entire duration of it, trying to finish off the Kunkka here. They should be able to get this kill. Earth Spirit finishes that off and takes down the killing spree, but the Bear gets the entangle onto the Venge, who goes down very quickly. They do manage to take down the Bear. The great Savage Roar sends 2 away, and have they got any way to chase the Lone Druid here? Nobody's got any way to catch him. There is going to be the Earth Spirit. Oh, it should catch him in the end. That was a nice roll. I thought that the Lion was going to interrupt that with something, but maybe didn't have anything to cooldown, and Lion actually whiffs the stun there. Maybe could have got a kill with that on the finger, but Earth Spirit should be able to get away now. So nice turnaround. I don't know what that ended up being overall. Maybe a 2 for 2, but taking out the Kunkka killing spree was, and the Lone Druid as well, was very nice for Nottingham.
I mean, the Bear went down before the Druid died, but unfortunately no one was able to get the last hit. It was cleaned up by the tower. If the Bear had actually gone down to someone, you might have said that was much cleaner trade in favour of Nottingham.
Yeah, I think just the XP swing from that, I expect, was quite high. The Earth Spirit went from level 4 to level 6. Obviously Venge got blown up straight away. Did manage to find level 5, but maybe it's... oh my lord, CK dies to a 3-man rotation bot. Earth Spirit just throws everything out onto him and he dies very fast. So nice cleanup.
That was nicely played from the Earth Spirit, actually.
Yeah, he took out the Phantasm as well.
Yeah, Chaos Knight burned the Phantasm to try and take out that tier 1 bot, but I think he was unlucky and didn't get the extra one, so his pushing power was just not quite enough to knock out that tower within the Phantasm duration, and he was cleaned up by the Earth Spirit in response.
Bottom tower is actually in deny range now. Nottingham haven't seen it yet. I think it might have just been pinged out by the Earth Spirit and just going in to get the deny now. So Invoker takes the mid tower. Top lane, just Razor and Lone Druid still farming up against each other, almost the same on CS here, pretty much evening up exactly. But any CS that's going even in this matchup really is going in favour of the Lone Druid, right? He's just going to do a lot more with that body, and look at that, the tower is just gone in no time at all. Rest in peace, they didn't even fortify that.
It's actually very ballsy from Birmingham right now. They've smoked 3 heroes bottom and have just entrusted the Lone Druid with just solo pushing that tier 1 tower straight down. No backup.
Yeah, will he be able to use a Chrono? No, he won't. The boat is coming in, he's got no mana anyway, and Void will be going down for the 2nd time. And there's just no way to answer any of this from Nottingham at the moment. The Venge does have the swap available, has a smoke in the inventory, but the Conqueror and the Invoker are always together, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone that they can't kill just between the two of them, never mind with the Lion, even the CK there. Now, looks like Earth's going to be going down as well. He's going to go for the Magnetize and try and do as much damage as possible. Now the Lion comes in from the side, finishes off the Earth Spirit, and now he won't be able to refresh the Magnetize, and Venge will be going down as well. So 3 go down around the map, and he blew a lot on the Invoker there and only got into about half health.
This Invoker's just so far ahead now. I mean, you saw he rather overestimated his own damage potential against the Vengeful Spirit and the Earth Spirit together, but with the supports backing him up, it suddenly became oh so easy for Birmingham. And I think Nottingham, they really need this Razor to start doing something. We haven't been talking much about him, even though he is the highest CS for Nottingham. It's just felt a little bit underwhelming right now.
Oh, Void might be about to get caught by the Conqueror again. They haven't hit the X so far, and he manages to somehow juke through there. He fogs the Conqueror, I think.
That was a double fog, actually. He just ducked into trees twice when Kunkka was mid-X animation. That was luck or skill. The viewers will decide.
Earthspirit went through the CK illusion, and now the 4-second stun. You stay right there, Earthspirit. You ain't going nowhere. And now the boat comes in from behind. Razor is stealing quite a bit of damage here, but Conqueror is just going to throw out the X, and I think he's going to let it go before the last bit of damage goes out onto the Conqueror. He's taking quite a bit, but now at the other side, Zeus has managed to take out the Lion. The Magnetize potentially going to do a lot here if Earthspirit can get out to the side. He doesn't actually have any more remnants to drop. CK is trying to clean this up. And now this should actually be able to take out the Chaos Knight as well. Invoker is here at the back in the Cold Snap, and he's going to throw one... Sorry, not in the Cold Snap, in the Ghost Walk, and he's just going to throw that last attack out to finish off the Earthspirit. Overall, I guess Nottingham are going to be happy with that trade. They managed to take out the CK. They didn't lose too much on their own side, but in the meantime, Lundra pushed down the top tier 2 with no towers taken at all so far by Nottingham in retaliation.
Yeah, that's the sort of fight that if Birmingham weren't so far ahead, that could have gone very badly for them. Spirit landed a very nice set of control and nice magnetize as well. Lots of damage coming out from him, and Zeus got a lot of his damage away as well. Chronosphere as well from the Void, but this Invoker so far ahead just interrupted everything with big Tornado EMP and was still able to pick up a double kill.
Now crawling through the jungle trying to find some more. I dare say that if he finds the Void here, he'll probably be able to kill him with the Orchid, or definitely be able to kill him with the Orchid. In fact, now the sentry goes down. I think Spirit did spot the Invoker there. Invoker doesn't know that it's around.
Yeah, he's being pinged out.
Okay, the X, the boat going somewhere. It's going on to mid, but the swap actually saves Venge from that, so boat for a swap. Both sides probably not going to care too much about that exchange, but
Luke heavily behind deep enemy lines here.
Yeah, but this just doesn't seem like there's anything anyone can do about it. I don't think.
I mean, they know he's there. They missed an Earth Spirit stun to try and find him, but
only the sentry's available. There's no dust. Invoker desperately looking for a pick-off. He's just going to back off for now. Happy that he's made so much room. Lone Druid happy to farm the jungle and will just in one more creep be able to pick up the Radiance.
Yeah, I think my biggest worry for Nottingham now is I find it hard to see where their sort of their comeback condition is going to come from. Razor has his mech now, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be that impactful at 19 minutes, whereas it could have done a lot at maybe more like 11 or 12.
Smoke just got broken at the bottom of the hill here by one of the Birmingham heroes standing behind this tree, and Nottingham just didn't react at all. They put down the sentry ward over here thinking that maybe it was an Invis Invoker, but they didn't actually check over to the side, which is where it actually got broken from, and then Birmingham happy to just back off to mid in the meantime, and now another X-Torrent catches the Razor. There's no boat to follow it up just yet, but both teams looking to clash in the mid lane here, and if Nottingham don't pull out a wonder, it's going to be very, very difficult to change things going forward from here. The Radiance up on the bear, the tower being mowed through, another torrent hits onto the Razor, being slowly whittled down, and they will actually get the Earth Spirit finds the bear. Conqueror is taking a lot of damage as well, almost dying to the tower. The Zeus ult takes him out. This is a bad start to the fight for Birmingham. Messy. Phantasm comes out, gets lucky, gets the extra illusion. Let's see if he can find the kill with this. Magnetize is coming out, and he's locked in place for a really long time here. The Earth Spirit is refreshing. They're trying to get as much damage onto the CK as they can. Somehow he's not gone down yet. He's still here at the back of the fight. Now the Savage Roar actually scares back 3 heroes there, but Razor going to be happy to get away. But Lion chasing after with a blink. He's going to clean that up with a finger, but will sacrifice his own life for it. So, I mean, it wasn't everything that Nottingham could have dreamed of, but it was pretty good. Birmingham, super sloppy.
Yeah, that was an extremely messy push there from Birmingham. They actually fed the bear, which is already pretty bad. 300 free gold for the Earth Spirit, and then they feed the Conqueror as well, which was nearly a 500 gold kill for the Zeus, and then they give up the CK as well. He went for an ill-advised pull onto the Earth Spirit, who managed to get off, I think, a silence onto him, so he couldn't land the follow-up stun. And then he got chronoed, and it took a while to bring him down, but they Nottingham did just about manage it. So
Something
large gold swing, about 2.5k.
something I meant to say at the start, just when that CK pick was made, but we had to remake. It's kind of a daring draft to pick the CK into, don't you think? Against the Earth Spirit and against the Zeus, two heroes which are very, very good at cleaning up the illusions and just, you know, locking down, dealing with the illusions in general.
It's a weird relationship that those heroes have, because Earth Spirit hates being controlled. He hates being silenced especially, but stun him up and he's just useless. Low base armor and moderate HP pools. So if you get a pull on either the Zeus or the Earth Spirit, then usually if you can land the follow-up stun, then you're absolutely golden.
Stun does get kind of stacked with a tornado here. Now swap back onto the Razor, won't quite get hit by the boat. He's being ticked down by the urn. Lone Druid in the meantime has already picked off the Earth Spirit. Might be able to get another bear here, not quite. So
yeah, that's.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I mean, Birmingham missed a lot of skills there. They missed the boat. They didn't use the Orchid to get a kill. Not quite working out how they'd like, but they still get one kill, and they're still going to take this tower because with the swap burned and the Earth Spirit down, you can't really reply to a Phantasm and a Lone Druid there.
Yeah, now blink forward, somehow Tornado catches both the Zeus and the Venge, burns away the Zeus's mana, so he's going to have to back out. He's not going to be here to defend from this initial high ground push, which I assume they are going to commit to. You can see that the Faceless Void is still top. Faceless Void reasonably farmed, the most farmed on the Nottingham side. He's back to everything now, has the lads in a blink. But he's going to have to find one hell of chrono. Now Earth Spirit starts, but he's going to get blown up very, very fast. And yeah, the stun, he's just gone in no time at all. The boat does end up catching the Razor and he loses half his health from just that. Starts a static link onto the Invoker and just has to run away. Lion finishes off the Void and the chrono achieved absolutely nothing. The Magnetize wasn't available at the start of that fight, and Earth Spirit initiated with basically no way to actually do anything, and now it's going to cost Nottingham the bot melee racks. Now they're chasing for even more. The X marks the spot onto the Zeus. Tornado not quite locking the skills together. Venge, another big swap, getting the Zeus away. He's going to try and find some return damage here. Another kill, double kill for Zeus, but now Invoker back to dominating and back at the other side of the fight. Lone Druid has taken out the racks.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to say a game is over, but this one does feel like it's sort of just sliding towards an inevitable Birmingham win. I mean, Nottingham, you do feel that they've sort of missed their timing window here. They needed to make things happen early on with the Razor mechanism. They basically needed a 5-man as soon as Razor got that mech and just start taking towers, but they haven't taken a single one.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Birmingham have got racks, so...
Absolutely. I mean, with the when you see a game go this uneven, it's easy to think, I guess, that the teams are really, really mismatched. I don't exactly think that that's the case here. Nottingham, in these fights, haven't really been playing substantially worse than Birmingham have. They've been sloppy fights for the most part in the last 10 minutes. Birmingham and Nottingham have managed to take some of them fairly even, despite being down 10k basically for all of that time.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of a bit of a duff draft. I think the safe lane Razor was a mistake, and the Void last pick. Whilst he's got a lot of farm, I think it was not the right pick for this lineup. But a duff draft and then mid snowballing very hard early on.
It's like, somehow you don't catch anyone with the X there. A bit of a mistake from the Conqueror, the boat wasted, another set of skills wasted, and now though, Lion's gone very, very far forwards. Are they going to be able to find anything in here? Oh boy, he does get a chrono onto 3, but is there actually anything to back this up? They've taken down the Invoker, but he had the Aegis, and now LRM stunned up is going to disjoint some of the damage with that Q. Nobody's gone down yet. Earth Spirit will be the first one just after he pops the Magnetize, so this is not going to do that much damage, and Birmingham probably just going to be able to back off, regen a little bit with the urn, and then go back in, I think.
Again, I mean, like you just said, Nottingham, they didn't play that badly. They isolated the Invoker well, took him down quickly, but it's again Birmingham making use of being ahead. That Aegis on Invoker made all the difference in that fight.
Yeah, so now with the alacrity onto the bear, absolutely chowing down on this tower. There's no finger available to finish off the Razor here. They're trying to chase down the Lion, but that's not going to work. The silence up onto the Faceless Void. A great force staff almost gets him away, but the X-Monster Spark is going to stop that from working out. Now Zeus being chased down by the Evoker with the BKB active. Very, very little they can do to deal with this. The negative urn charge goes out onto the bear, so they're going to finish that off. Zeus gets that, but another one is summoned and they just want to go and they want to make sure that they get this melee rack. So a lot of delay coming out, a lot of ranged harassment from Zeus. The Earth Spirit, 4 seconds done, and the X back into the Torrent. Earth Spirit getting hella combo down. In the meanwhile, the Rax goes down, and oh boy, Venture Spirit just gets burst in no times at all. The Tornado does hit on both, a completely whiffed Deafening Blast, but nobody seems to care. They've got 3 kills, they've got the melee racks, and off Birmingham go to regen some more and then push again, I assume.
This Birmingham draft, it just feels so easy to execute. I mean, you can take very sloppy fights, but the Conqueror Initiation, even if it doesn't land perfectly, creates so much chaos within that Nottingham lineup. And yeah, there we go, GG.
Okay, yeah.
As long as the bear survives and is hitting towers, that's really all you need.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, they got the 3-man chrono. They managed to get the Invoker and I think the Lungarood and the bear in it. But they took down the Invoker, but because Birmingham was so far ahead, Invoker had an Aegis. He came back, and there was basically no way to stop the push. They threw absolutely everything out. Used I think every single one of the remnants on the Earth Spirit. Used all the spells and just had nothing left in the end. Still ended up losing the melee racks on 3 heroes, and obviously Nottingham realising that that is likely the nail in the coffin, and will tap out of game 1. But this is a 3-game series. We are going to be back in the next few minutes. Will game 2 stick with us?
Doesn't even need to use it. He's just going to